to prepare for retirement means that you prepare to have the income required to sustain your lifestyle for the next maybe 40, 50 years of your life that is left over.
When we think about our retirement, we're thinking of how do I pay for my holidays? How do I pay for my rent, for example? How do I buy my food? And I think we need to factor in healthcare as part of it, because life expectancy is only going up. More and more of us can expect to live into their 70s, into their 80s. So if we are not planning to take care of our health, then our health becomes a thing that causes maybe the greatest disruption.
Monies that you get at retirement will be used for it will have many uses. And one of the major use will be medical care. It's part of nature that people are a bit unwell as they get older, unlike when they were younger. And so that it becomes quite an expensive agenda to take care of your medical care.
And I'll tell you why. With recent statistics, and even from the government level, it is now emerging that most people are retiring into what we call old age poverty, where you're unable to cater for your basic needs. And what are the basic needs of any human being? It's food, shelter, clothing, and now there's healthcare. With most people coming into retirement, the income levels are so low that healthcare becomes really a financial burden to most.
I will look at 3 categories of people. The pretty young who are just getting into employment, 25 to 35. This is the time. Punch in a bit more into your retirement fund. Put in a bit more. Go back to the employer and say, I want to save a bit more. Reason being, whenever you see money in the bank account, you're thinking, what is the next trip I can go to? What is the next pair of shoes I can buy? But that may not be very useful for you in future. So go back and put in another 1%, 2% as part of your retirement fund. As and when your employer partners with an insurance company or whatever organization is giving a retirement fund that is combined with medical, please join. It might pain you a little bit now, but it is going to be so beautiful for you in future, because you'll have a lengthier time to save, and your money will earn more.
We have 20% of people who've actually saved towards retirement, and it's a really dire number. That means 80% of our working population are not actively in, pension plans or pension savings plans. And that is really a wake-up call for all of us, because then out of this 20, I can tell you, the majority are in the older phase, yeah? So the younger people, those who've just started working, unless your employer has actively gone and taken a pensions product for you, for most young people, it's not a priority.
The beauty about retirement funds is they are tax exempt. So that's a good thing. The more you put into your retirement fund, the more you save on tax, as at now. And as when you retire, again, remember, you also continue to enjoy those tax benefits in one way or another.
One of the problems in the transition into retirement is that people often do not continue with their insurance policies and the plans that they have. And when you allow it to lapse, joining an insurance policy later on in life is much harder. They are less likely to take you on board. There are less policies that take on elderly or senior citizens. And so you want not to have a gap. You want to continue on your same policy once you leave your working age and move on in that direction.
The trend in the industry is that if you're looking for a medical cover when you're older, say 60, the premiums are way higher, probably double compared to somebody who is in their 20s. So what does that mean? It means then, therefore, that when you're younger, remember that medical care when you're older will be more expensive.
It is true that insurance gets expensive, especially as you grow older. And it's the technical structure of how insurance products have been set up. So ideally, when you look at an insurance company, any insurance company, when you take an insurance product, it's basically transferring your risk to the insurance company. And the older you are, then it's deemed you're a higher risk category than a younger person.